Feelings are still running very high over these sackings.
Hi, Alex. Yes, feelings are running very high this afternoon, Alex. We've just come down from Victoria outside the DP World offices. That is the parent company of P&O Ferries. About 400 people have come out today. These are RMT unionists. You can see some of them behind me. You can see some of the signs saying "Save P&O Jobs, Nationalise." Now we've got people with drums here, with flags and banners. Many of them were sacked from their jobs last Thursday. It was in a pre-recorded Zoom message, if you can believe, lasting about 2 minutes, telling 800 people that their jobs had gone, effective immediately. They have now been replaced with cheaper foreign agency labour, and these people have now got no jobs. They're turning up outside the Houses of Parliament, where there will be a vote brought by Labour this afternoon to get DP World's contracts suspended and to call for P&O to reverse their decision. Well, let me bring in Lee, who was sacked by P&O last Thursday on that Zoom call. Lee, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Try and describe me, if you can, how you felt on Thursday knowing that your job had been taken.
Devastated, numb, angry not just for myself but for my colleagues who all lost their jobs.
And describe how that was done for you. It was on a pre-recorded Zoom message, not lasting very long at all.
Yeah, we received an email from the company to log on to a Zoom, and we thought it would be like an open meeting. Instead, it was a recorded message from the new HR director, who went ahead and told us that as of today we're no longer employed, our contracts are terminated, and we would be receiving a redundancy offer.
And how long have you worked for P&O?
I've been 30 years in August.
You've worked for a company for 30 years and your job was taken away from you in just one day? Yeah,
straight from school and then straight onto the ferries. We were told it was a job for life. Second generation seafarer, my father was a seafarer. And now obviously the rug's been pulled from under us. We've been replaced by agency labour from Ukraine, from Romania, from Poland and India on exploitative rates of pay. Indian seafarers on as low as $1,600 a month, working 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off, even though the company itself carried out a fatigue study in 2013 that said there was enough issues with week on, week off, and that 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off was not viable.
So you've got massive concerns about safety, haven't you, for these people that are replacing you? As you just heard there, Indian workers on as little as $2.38 an hour. It's hard to imagine how this is even going to be safe, Lee.
Well, it's not going to be safe. We've got guys on there from Latvia that are training them that aren't experienced enough themselves. We're getting reports that masters are calling up ex-chief officers to ask how the BA sets work. Now, the last thing we want, a few weeks ago, I was at the 35th Memorial for the Herald of Free Enterprise. The last thing this town or this country needs is another maritime disaster.
And Lee, just very finally, very briefly, what are you calling for here today outside the House of Parliament?
We need political support, political will to get, first of all, P&O's ships impounded, to remove all government contracts from DP World, and to get support from myself and my colleagues here. We've done nothing wrong. We were sacked for what? For being loyal, for doing our jobs? This can't be right.
Lee, thank you very much for speaking to us this afternoon. I really do hope that you can have your job reinstated. Well, you heard there Alex Lee, who had worked for P&O for 30 years, had the job taken from underneath his feet on Thursday. As you can see, this protest is taking place behind us. I can see Jeremy Corbyn actually in the front of this crowd here. They are putting pressure on the government to suspend all of DP World's contracts. Labour is pushing for a vote, an emergency vote this afternoon, calling for three things: to outlaw fire and rehire contracts, to suspend all contracts with DP World, and to remove it from the Transport Advisory Group. And we'll see how that goes this afternoon, Alex.